Hello guys, welcome to Slowlist Network, and today we're going to talk about Major Crime Season 4, Episode 11. So we start off with this girl, she's on camera scene dropping off 4 people that were shot. 3 of them were already dead, one ended up in surgery. We're in the hospital or whatever, and Julio's acting all kinds of weird, like he's not really focusing on what's going on. People are asking questions, he doesn't answer really fast. And then apparently he knows the hospital really well. He's like, yeah, this place and that place, and we don't know why he's so weird. Anyway, move on. And so apparently all the victims were rich, like really rich. And then it comes to find out that they were all, playing a poker game, and they think it was an illegal poker game, but somehow it turned to a murderous poker game. And then we go on over to Rusty. He wants to do another story on that guy that killed that girl. I know, real detail. I don't remember her name, but you remember the guy, that he kept seeing in prison. Remember there was one part where he's like, hey, I want you to tell my story, and so then we find out Julio's wife must have died in the hospital, or when she was sick, she was at the hospital. I'm pretty sure she died. So it must have been that hospital, and I understand the weirdness now, because sometimes when you go to places where you've been, when someone's sick, it brings back the memories. Now, one of the poker players, his driver was brought in because apparently his driver drove the woman who he picked up the woman who drove the bodies to the hospital. And then at first, he seems shady, but of course it's never the first one person. And it's just weird, so you're like, probably not him. But then they find the lady that runs the poker game, Molly, and she's about to flee the country. That's weird, alright. And then they bring her in, and I don't know how I feel. At the point I wasn't feeling her. I wasn't feeling that she did it. She just it didn't make sense for her to do it. She's running the poker game. Why would she bring the bodies? Obviously, somebody's gonna connect her. It was just too easy for it to connect back to her, for her to have done it. But she could have been stupid. But I didn't think she did it. But Andy got messed up. He rolled over and rolled. Oh my gosh. Because Molly was trying to get up out of there. And of course Andy comes back to the station and he's gonna try and pretend that he's alright. No, but he's really hurt. And then Rusty, he goes back and he's trying to get permission. He's really trying, he has to talk. He didn't want to talk to the ADA, but he had to eventually. She got on board. And Sharon was just like, yeah, I'll co-sign whatever she says. And then Molly, she actually tried to push for a deal. She don't claim none of that money, and they threatened the IRS, so she was like, all right. But if she was really smart, she could have still pushed. But they kept trying to figure out how many people were there, and it turns out there was a 5th guy. But the problem with that is he's rich too, so it don't make any sense for him to kill everybody. Unless there's a huge motive difference, besides just stealing the money. But it just seemed like they just stole the money. They didn't even care about if they were really dead, They said the shooter was inexperienced. So right before we find out who the killer is, I said, it has to be Dan's son. Because I'm like, one, why was he even in the episode? I just thought it was odd that he came up. And I was like, okay. And then Anna, who was Prager's, which he was the one that lived but he ended up dying. His daughter recognized him when he came to the station, and then all of a sudden, all of the detectives are like, oh, yeah. And then Dan was gonna try and cover for his son Noah, but it didn't work. And I felt bad. But it's just like, why do you have to steal the money? Are they struggling like that? Then if whatchamacallit, they made it seem like Prager was such Howard Prager, whatever. They made it seem like he was such a nice guy, you couldn't get a little bit of cash from him. Jeez. Now I'm not clear if Dan knew that his son did it already. I wonder if he did, because apparently he said, they were saying that he said Noah at the game, right? So I'm wondering if he came in and said Noah, you know, because he saw him do it, or he was just talking about Noah regular, and they all knew who he was. Because, I mean, that happens with, like, when I go to my mom's job, everyone knows who I am. Like, people I've never met before know exactly who I am. You know, so it's odd. I don't know. But Noah did it. He killed all them people and took that money, and they found it right in his room. And you know what's so funny? He could have just robbed them. I mean, I know they know who did it and all of that stuff, but it's just like, at the end of the day, they can't report any of this to the police anyway, because everything they're doing is illegal. And the fifth guy didn't make any sense. Even though he was police donor and stuff, it had to turn. But he, you know, he didn't do it. He's rich too, so. And are they not gonna bring TJ and Rusty back? I love that. Oh, and Rusty he's gonna get into UCLA. I'm like, oh, okay. Judge Grove got his back. Even though he's hard on him, he got his back. All right. Well, that was it for Major Crime. I'm gonna say Criminal Mind. That's it for Major Crime. We'll see you guys next week. Slowlist out.